Alrighty. Excellent. So good to see everybody. Happy Friday. Nice sunny one for us. So we can go ahead and get started. So my name's Meredith. This is going to be a moderate mindful flow tonight. So the way that I interpret that is I'll be offering lots of different variations to the postures as we go along, and really encourage you to do the version that feels best in your body tonight. So if something doesn't feel good, don't be doing it. And yeah, just listen to your body and we'll have some fun and get some good feeling stretching in. So we're going to start off by coming to our easy seated pose, or Sukhasana. So you can be cross-legged, maybe one foot in front of the other. If you're more comfortable on your knees, that's totally great too. It often feels good to elevate your hips a little bit higher than the knees. So if that's something you'd like to try, you could slide a block or a pillow under the hips. Just can help the front of the hips to relax a little. And then wherever you are, as you arrive, finding a nice straight spine, feeling your shoulders beginning to melt down the back. And then as you're ready, you could close your eyes or just find a soft gaze here. And just begin by welcoming yourself into this space. Allowing yourself to arrive in the room, arriving on your mat, and arriving in your body. Just checking in with the physical body here. We can begin by noticing for any sensations that might be here. So perhaps beginning by noticing the points of contact between your body and the mat below. Feeling your weight of your body being supported by the mat and the ground. Feeling of settling, grounding into your seat. And then maybe noticing if there's any sensations of heat or cool. Maybe there's some tingling in the fingertips or even the tip of your nose. Just observing, not trying to change anything. Maybe feeling the air passing over your skin from the fans. And see if you can even notice your own heartbeat within your chest here. Noticing those sensations. Then I'll invite you to check in with your mind, checking in with the quality of your thoughts this evening. Noticing if you're feeling a little monkey-minded, a little distracted, or maybe we're already calm and present, ready for the weekend. Whatever it might be, there's no right answer, wrong answer. It's just noticing what we come with, what we bring to our practice. And then finally, we'll bring some awareness to the breath. So just observing your next inhale and observing your next exhale. And maybe just by beginning to bring awareness to the breath, you notice it start to slow down a little all on its own. Deepening, lengthening the inhale, gradually extending the exhale. And just continuing to notice the breath in this way. And then we'll take a few communal breaths together to open our practice tonight. So let's all go ahead and exhale to begin. And then take a big, deep inhale through your nose. And a soft exhale through the mouth. Another one like that, inhaling through the nose, filling the lower belly, the lungs, all the way up to the collarbones. And then exhale, slowly release through the mouth, all the way to the bottom of the exhale. One more breath like that, nice and deep, in through the nose, filling all the way. And exhale to let it go, all the way to the end of the exhale. And then you can just seal your lips, return to your normal breathing, inhaling, exhaling through the nose. As you're ready, we'll gradually open the eyes, coming back into the room. If you're sitting up on a block or something, you could slide that off to the side now. And then staying in this cross-legged position, we're going to inhale, take the arms wide, reaching all the way up towards the ceiling, bringing hands together to touch overhead. And exhale to draw your hands down through heart center. Another big inhale, circle sweep the arms all the way up. Maybe your gaze follows your hands this time. And exhale to draw the hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. One more time, inhale, sweep and reach. This time we're going to interlace the fingers and then flip the palms up towards the ceiling. So big stretch here, lengthening all along the back. Nice. We'll stay for one more inhale here. And then with our exhale, we're going to slowly take a side bend over to the right. So just a nice big reach here. We'll stay here for a breath. You can, still grounding through that left hip bone as your hands reach to the right. And the next inhale will come back up through center, and then we'll take that over to the left. Nice deep side bend here. Staying here for a breath. And inhaling back up through center. We're going to flip the knuckles over to face towards the front of the room and then pressing the hands forward, rounding through the upper back. So tucking your belly button towards the back of the room, tucking your chin to your chest. Big grounding here, feeling your shoulder blades separating behind the back. And then we'll inhale, lifting the hands all the way back up, flipping the palms up one more time. And exhale, hands float down towards your sides. Nice. Another big inhale, reaching up. And this time we're going to take a twist to the right. So we're going to bring left hand to the right knee. Right hand comes behind, straightening up through the spine first, and then gradually beginning to look back over the right shoulder. Nice. With your next inhale, slowly begin to look up towards the ceiling, lifting your chin, finding a little stretch in the neck. And then with an exhale, lowering your chin down towards your chest, lengthening the back of the neck here. Let's do one more like that. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, gaze lowers, chin tucks. And then bringing the chin back to neutral. Next inhale, arms reach all the way up through the center. And we'll take the twist over to the other side. So right hand to left knee, starting by finding the nice straight spine. And then maybe gently softening into the twist, beginning to look back. And then with an inhale, gradually looking up towards the ceiling. And exhale as your chin comes down towards your chest. Another one like that. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, looking down. And back to neutral. One more big inhale, reaching up. And with the exhale, we're going to lower the palms just down in front of us and then begin to walk your hands forward. Just to the point where you reach a little bit of resistance. Your hands are about as wide as the shoulders. And then when you reach that point, just let the head hang heavy, shoulders soften. Everything just kind of releasing forward here, continuing to ground back through the hips. So feeling that nice lengthening along the back of the spine. And then looking forward, we'll slowly walk the hands back towards ourselves, back into center. If you take a glance down, if you're in a cross-legged position and there's one foot in front of the other, we're just going to switch the feet. So we're going to put the opposite foot in front. This might feel a little awkward. It's our non-dominant one, I guess. Inhale to reach up. And with the exhale, hands come down in front. And once more, we'll walk the hands forward. And softening down, maybe noticing how this side feels quite different than the other. Maybe different areas of stiffness, different sensations of release. And then slowly walking the hands back one more time. Beautiful. From here, we're going to plant the hands down. We'll come up onto our knees, drawing your knees back a little bit. Big toes come together to touch. Knees are out as wide as the mat. And then sitting your hips back onto your heels. Go ahead and extend the whole upper body forward, reaching through the fingertips. And then you can just release your forehead down to the mat. This is our extended child's pose. You can press into your fingertips to deepen the stretch in your shoulders. And with the inhale breath here, feel the back of the ribs expanding. With the exhale, feel everything softening forward a little more. So I'll be offering some hands-on adjustments tonight. If that's not something that you're comfortable with, if you'd rather I skip you, go ahead and give me a little wave now, and I'll honor that. All right, and then staying in the extended child's pose, we're going to look forward. We're going to press ourselves up slightly, pressing into the right hand. And then the left arm is going to slide underneath the right, rolling over onto the left shoulder. So this is a variation of our thread the needle pose. You can bring your left cheek to the mat. And stay here for one big breath in, big breath out. Pressing once more into that right hand, slowly unwind, bringing the left arm back out. And we'll place the left hand down, press into that palm, threading the right arm under the left, rolling onto the right shoulder, right cheek to the mat. And a big breath here. And looking forward once again, press into the left palm and then slowly both palms to the mat. We're going to bring the knees back in to hip width apart. So legs are parallel here. Starting off with a nice neutral spine. With the inhale, you're going to lower your belly, lift your hips, lift the chest, lift the gaze, coming into cow pose. And then with an exhale, we'll round everything in, coming into cat pose. So your chin moves towards your chest, really pressing the mat away. Feel the rounding through the back of the shoulder blades. And then with the next inhale, coming back to cow, lowering the belly, arching the back. And exhale to round, tailbone tucks under, back of the spine reaching up towards the ceiling. Just do one more like that with your own breath. So inhale, moving to cow. And exhale, rounding to cat. And then coming back to neutral. From here, we're going to tuck the toes under. And then with an inhale breath, lift the hips all the way up and back. Coming into our first downward facing dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. So taking a look at your hands to start here, we'll spread the fingers out wide like two little starfish. Pressing into all 10 fingers, feel the whole base of the palm connecting to the mat. And then moving to your arms, you can think about rotating the upper arms out slightly. So it's almost like we're bringing the insides of the elbows to face forward. Feeling the shoulders nice and strong, lifting away from the ears. And you can go ahead and take any movement here you like. We'll be here for another 3-4 breaths. So if you'd like to perhaps pedal out your dog, bending one knee and then the other. You could shift your hips a little side to side. Making any kind of movement here that might feel good. Fluid movements with the spine, the hips, perhaps shaking out the head a little, finding a release in the neck, whatever it might be. And then slowly coming back to stillness, we'll take one more big inhale through the nose. Big exhale out through the mouth. Maybe allowing your heels to float a little closer to the mat, but not forcing them down. And then with your next inhale, we're going to lift up with the right leg, coming to a 3-legged dog, right toes pointing up. And then from here, we'll go ahead and bend the right knee. So heel comes towards your hip and the hips are opening out to the right side of the room. You can feel gravity pulling that right heel back down behind you a little here. Inhale to re-extend the right leg long. And then with an exhale, taking your right knee forward and then planting that right foot down as you're ready. You can always use your hand to help you get it there as you need. Coming into a lunge, and then from the lunge, we'll lower the left knee down to the mat. And let's untuck the left toes there. Bringing the hands to your right thigh, coming up through center, just feeling yourself Nice and stable here, nice and grounded. And then as you're ready with an inhale, we'll sweep up both arms, hands together to touch overhead. Nice. Let's stay here for another breath with the inhale lifting up, maybe even finding a little bit of a back bend here if that feels okay in the back. Coming back to neutral, one more inhale. And then with your exhale, we're going to drop the hands back behind the head. So it's like prayer hands, fingers pointing down towards your shoulder blades, spreading your elbows out wide. So your heart is lifting, chest is lifting. You should feel a nice stretch through the triceps, the shoulders. Inhale to re-extend. And with an exhale, we'll bring both hands down to frame that front foot. From here, we're going to move into half Hanuman pose. So we're going to shift the hips back, straightening through the right leg. You can always reach for your blocks here. Give yourself a little more lift if you like. And to start off, we're looking to have the two hips in one line here. So notice if that right hip is shifted forward and then maybe tucking it back a little, two hips in one line. Your chest is lifting, and then the torso is just beginning to fold forward over that front leg, finding a nice stretch in the back of the leg, hamstrings. And then we'll rebend into the right knee. Let's go ahead and plant both hands down on the mat. We're going to tuck the back left toes. Right foot steps back to meet it in a high plank. So we can take our high plank with the knees lifted, or you can lower your knees to the mat for a little more support. Pressing deeply into the mat. Arms nice and strong. Stay for one more inhale. And with an exhale, elbows close to the body, slowly lowering yourself all the way down. And release. Untuck the toes. Hands stay beneath the shoulders. And then with our next inhale, chest lifts, looking up, come to baby cobra. So very little weight in the hands here. You could even challenge yourself, maybe float the hands just for a centimeter. And then release, let that go. We're going to walk the hands out a little wider than the mat, coming up onto kind of spider fingers or tent fingers here. And then keeping your chin tucked towards your chest with an inhale, slowly lift, rolling the chest up. And then looking up. Last minute. With an exhale, rolling all the way back down again. We're going to continue this like one continuous movement. So with the inhale, rolling up, gaze lifts. Exhale, rolling back down. Let's do one more like that. Inhale, come up. And exhale, roll it back down. Nice. Hands back beneath your shoulders. We're going to press up onto the knees now. Coming up all the way onto the knees. We're going to reach the right hand back towards the right heel. Oh, there's weird fluff coming from somewhere. Right hand to right heel. And then inhale, left arm reaches all the way up and back. This is a half camel pose here. Opening across the front of the chest. One more inhale. And an exhale, sweeping that arm all the way around. We'll reach left hand to left heel. Inhale to reach up with the right. And then slowly letting that go, coming back to center. Both hands plant down again beneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, and we'll come back to our downward facing dog. Big inhale here. Big exhale. And then with the next inhale, we'll take the left leg high to the sky. Let's bend the left knee, opening hips out to the left side of the room this time. So that heel is dropping back behind you as your knee is pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhale to re-extend the left leg long. And exhale, left knee travels towards your nose and then eventually planting that left foot down between your hands. And right knee lowers down to the mat, untucking the back right toes. Arriving in your lunge, and then we'll slowly bring hands up to that thigh, finding a nice grounded sort of lunge here. Drawing your belly button in with an inhale, arms reach all the way up, hands together to touch, Anjaneyasana. Staying here for a breath. If you like, maybe introducing a little back bend, beginning to trace the fingers back towards the back of the room. And then coming back up through center, inhale. Exhale, drop those prayer hands back behind the head. Take the elbows wide. You can even press the back of the head against the hands, feeling the front of the chest opening. Inhale to reach up. And exhale, hands come back down. We'll move into our half Hanuman on this pose. So we're on this side. So hips shift back, left toes beginning to lift up, reaching for your blocks if you like here. You can also play with the position of your blocks, seeing how it feels to bring them a little further forward, a little further back. Just finding the support. Feeling nice and steady here, looking for that nice deep stretch in the back of the left leg. And then we'll gradually rebend back into the left knee. Hands to the mat, right toes tuck. And we'll step it back to a plank pose. Let's take a full breath in our plank. Full inhale, full exhale. One more inhale here. And exhale to lower down. Hands beneath the shoulders, untuck the toes. Inhale, we can come up either to a baby cobra, or if upward dog is a part of your practice, then extending the arms all the way up. And if we're all the way up, maybe pressing into the tops of the feet and seeing if we can hover the knees just by a half inch or so. And then let's release, let all that go. And bring the hands out to the side, back up on the spider fingers. And we'll just do one of those chest rolls this time. So chin to your chest, inhale to roll up. And exhale, rolling back down. Hands back beneath the shoulders and pressing ourselves up. We'll come once more to our knees. Arrive on your knees. And as you're ready, right hand reaches back for right heel. Left arm sweeps all the way up and back, reaching for the back corner of the room. And release that. We'll come around to the other side, left hand to left heel, right arm reaching up and back. And slowly releasing that. Nice. Bringing the hands back to the mat. We'll tuck the toes and pressing all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Big inhale here. Big exhale, release. And looking forward between your hands, we can take little baby steps all the way up to the front of the mat. We're going to come into a deep forward fold. So you can bend your knees just as much as you like here. Just let everything hang heavy. Letting your head hang heavy, your neck, your shoulders, everything is soft. Knees are soft. Maybe giving your head a little shake, yes and no. Releasing through the neck, maybe reaching for opposite elbows. You could introduce a little sway here, side to side, release the low back. And then coming back to center, release your hands to the mat. We're going to press into the feet, slowly rolling the spine up, one vertebra at a time, coming all the way up. And we arrive in Tadasana, mountain pose. So Tadasana, we have the feet like the number 11, nice and parallel, arms hanging heavy by your side, shoulders are soft. You could have your palms facing forward. Just checking in with the knees for a moment, noticing if your knees are locked out and pointing to the back. And so just bring a little bit of softness there, keeping our shock absorbers in place. And then with an inhale, arms sweep up, hands together to touch. Exhale, release your hands to heart center. Another one like that. Inhale, arms reach up. This time with the exhale, we'll take the arms out wide, taking a big swan dive forward, coming all the way back into our forward fold. With an inhale, we're going to come up halfway, nice straight spine. You could bring your hands to your shins, or another opportunity to use your blocks if you'd like a little more support. Looking for this right angle between the hips and the spine, pressing firmly into the feet. One more inhale here. And then exhale, release forward, bending your knees really deeply. Allow your torso to rest on your upper thighs. And then we're going to sweep the arms towards the back of the room, like airplane arms. So your palms are face down, pinkies squeezing towards each other. It's like we're about to take flight. And then with an inhale, arms sweep forward, reaching up. Keep that bend in your knees moving into chair pose. or Utkatasana. So Utkatasana, we're building a lot of heat in the front of the thighs. So if you can feel contact between all four corners of your feet and the mat. Arms can be reaching up, or if it's more comfortable, reaching for the horizon, either is great. Noticing your own breath here. We'll stay for one more inhale, one more exhale. And then inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the arms, reach for the sky. And exhale, arms to your side. Beautiful. We'll do one more round of that. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, arms wide, swan dive forward. Inhale to come up halfway, finding that upside down letter L. And exhale, releasing forward, bend the knees deeply, arms sweeping back, pinkies towards each other. Your front of your chest is beginning to lift off the knees. And then with the inhale, let's take those arms forward, coming to our chair pose once again. Beautiful. Staying with it here. If you want to increase the challenge, make it a little more spicy, you could try lifting the heels, coming up onto the toes. If your heels are lifted and your legs are shaking, then that's exactly what they're supposed to be doing. So we're all good. We'll stay for one more inhale, one more exhale. Inhale, straighten, reach and rise. And exhale, let it all go. Lovely. Give yourself a little shake there if that feels good. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, take them wide, big swan dive forward. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale, release. Plant the hands. We're going to step it back to a downward facing dog. Feet come back, pressing firmly into the hands, lifting up high with the hips. Beautiful. Another full breath here. And with our next inhale, we're going to take the right leg high to the sky, three-legged dog. With an exhale, right foot comes forward. Once again, planting between the hands. This time we're going to keep that back knee lifted. So making your way to your runner's lunge. Opportunity here to use the blocks if you'd like a little more support too. And then pressing firmly into your front right foot. We're going to step that back left foot forward about halfway. Going to come flat to the mat, so your toes will be at an angle towards the front corner of the room. And then as you're ready, once again, opportunity to reach for your blocks if you like. We're going to press the hips back, straightening through that right leg, making our way into a pyramid pose, finding that triangle shape with the legs, just letting the whole upper body hang soft here. So your hands can be on blocks, or maybe reaching for the mat. And on this side, we usually want to think about bringing the left hip forward slightly to keep those two hips in one line. Beautiful. And then we're going to bend into the right knee, pressing into your back left foot. Inhale, arms reach forward. We're going to come all the way up to our warrior one pose. Hands come together to touch. Bending deeply into that front knee, pressing firmly into the back foot. Let's take a big inhale here, reach. With our exhale, let's take those prayer hands behind the back, opening the elbows, lifting the heart. Inhale to re-extend. With our exhale, we're going to slowly open to warrior two. So arms come out wide. You might want to step that back foot back just a little if that gives you a more comfortable stance. And in warrior two, the arms are reaching in opposite directions, but the shoulders are soft. So the arms are energized, but there's a softness in the elbows, softness in the shoulders. You want to take a peek at your front knee. You want to make sure that knee is tracking right with the toes. So if you notice it starting to drift inward, you can kind of activate the inner thigh. Get that nice and straight. Beautiful, strong warriors. Really noticing your own breath here. And then with your next inhale, we're going to lower the left arm down, right arm reaches all the way up and back. This is our reverse warrior, our graceful warrior. Some different options here. You can keep that arm on your back leg. You could also reach the left arm around behind the low back, maybe beginning to reach for the front right hip crease. That top arm is nice and active. Imagine you could touch the back of the wall or the back wall here. One more big inhale here. Feel the front right ribs expanding with your breath. And then with the exhale, we're going to slowly bring the upper body forward. Right forearm comes to right thigh. Extended side angle pose. So we can reach for the sky with that left arm or bring it alongside the bicep, reaching for the front of the room. So whatever feels better in your shoulder. We're looking for this line of energy between the back left heel and that front left middle finger. Beautiful. Some options here. You could also play with the bind. That top arm can come around behind the low back. You want to begin to work towards a full bind. Left arm comes down. Front right arm reaches all the way up and around under that front thigh. Maybe eventually bringing the two hands together. Wherever you are, the top left shoulder keeps rolling back to open the chest. We're taking the bind. Let's go ahead and unwind now, reaching back up with the left arm. And then everybody, we're going to come up on those back left toes, slowly swivel the upper body to face forward, and we find ourselves back in our runner's lunge. Beautiful. We're going to plant the left hand on the inside of that left foot. And with an inhale, the right arm reaches up. Big deep twist opening to the right. And exhale, lower the right arm back down. So a couple of options here. If you'd like to take a flow and do your Chaturanga Dandasana, you can move through that now. If you'd rather just skip it and meet us in down dog, we can do that too. If you're taking the flow, we'll step back to plank. Exhale to lower down about halfway. Inhale as the chest comes forward and up, upward facing dog. And exhale to release, tuck the toes and hips press back to downward facing dog. So that's our full vinyasa. You're welcome to modify in any way you like. You're welcome to skip and come to down dog or take a child's pose. And you're welcome to mix it up and do some of all of those too. So let's all take a big deep breath here in our down dog. Beautiful. And we'll take all that to the other side. So we'll inhale, take the left leg high. Exhale to bring the left knee forward, left foot steps through. Coming into our lunge here. Arriving in the lunge, feeling that stable base. And then as you're ready, we're going to step the back right foot forward and then begin to straighten through that front left leg. So coming into our pyramid pose. Nice. You can be up on the blocks here. So finding, actually, let's have you even bring them a little further forward so you get this nice stretch down the back. Beautiful. Really nice. And Charlie, I'm going to have you shift this hip back for me just slightly. Yeah, right. Like that. Exactly. That's beautiful. Really nice. And then same on you, but just a tiny bit. Yeah, beautiful. Yes. And then we'll bend into that front knee, pressing into the back right foot, arms reach forward. We'll come all the way up, warrior one. Hands come together to touch. Big inhale here, nice and strong. And with an exhale, taking those prayer hands behind the back, elbows reach in opposite directions. Inhale, reach it up. And then exhale, opening out, warrior two to the left. Maybe adjusting the width of your stance, if that feels good. Really nice and ready, soften here, and then press back towards me with this shoulder. Just, yeah, beautiful, like that. Do you feel steady? That looks really good. Really nice. You can be looking to the side of the room or maybe gazing over that front finger, if that feels okay in the neck. Feeling the strength, but also the softness, the ease here. Beautiful. And then with the next inhale, that back arm floats back, left fingertips reaching up and back. Reverse warrior, maybe taking the half bind. Feeling yourself being pulled by those fingertips up and back. Pressing into the front big toe mound. One more big inhale here. And with the exhale, we'll bring the body weight forward, left forearm to left thigh, and extended side angle on this side. Beautiful. Same options here. If you want to play with the bind, you could wrap the top arm around, and then maybe beginning to reach through with the front arm too. Wherever you are, you want to think of keeping that shoulder pressing back. So we're trying to draw everything into the midline here. Yeah, just a little bit, just a hair. Beautiful. Really nice. And then the binders, we can go ahead and unwind, reaching that arm long. And then coming up on those back toes, slowly swiveling to face forward, coming back to our runner's lunge. This time, right hand plants to the inside of the left foot, and then reach it up with the left fingertips. Nice deep twist. And then letting that go. Both hands to the mat. Option to take your flow here if you would like. Stepping back to plank, or skipping it and coming straight to a downward facing dog. Wherever we are, we'll all meet in down dog. Once you arrive in your down dog, taking a couple of big nourishing breaths here. Feeling that length, noticing where your energy has shifted from when we started this evening. Feeling a little more heat, a little more openness. And we're going to move through all of that now, one breath to movement. So with an inhale, take your right leg high. Exhale to step your right foot through between your hands, runner's lunge. Left foot steps forward and flat. And inhale, pyramid pose, straightening through the front right leg. There we go, so staying down, finding that pyramid. Now we'll bend into that front knee, inhale to reach and rise, warrior one. Exhale to drop those hands behind your back, spread the elbows. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, open warrior two. Inhale to reverse. And exhale, coming forward, extended side angle pose. Full big inhale here. And exhale to slowly come through center, come through forward, both hands to the mat, up on the toes. Left hand plants and twist it open to the right. Right hand comes back down. Option to take your flow here if you like. Taking the flow, step back to plank. Exhale to release it down. Inhaling up, baby cobra or up dog. And then pressing back to downward facing dog. Big inhale. Big exhale. And I'll take it to the other side. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale to step your left foot through, finding your lunge. Back foot steps forward, straighten through the left leg, pyramid pose. Let everything hang. Bending into that left knee, reach it forward, rise all the way up, warrior one. Dropping the prayer hands back behind the head, opening the heart. Reach it back up. And exhale to open, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, coming forward, extended side angle. Big inhale here. Exhale. And as the right hand comes down, left hand comes down, we'll open into our twist to the left. Left fingertips reach up. And lower back down. Taking a vinyasa here if you would like. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. All right, let's take that one more time each side. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale to step through. Left foot comes flat, straighten through the right leg, pyramid pose. Rebend that right knee. Inhale to rise up, warrior one. And prayer hands behind the back of the head, elbows lifted. Reaching back up. Exhale to open out, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, coming forward, extended side angle pose. Reach for the front of the room or reach for the sky. And then slowly coming through forward, coming back to our runner's lunge. Left hand plants, right arm lifts into your twist. And lower that hand back down. Step it back to a plank and take your flow or take your down dog. Last time, last side. Inhale to lift the left leg. Exhale, left foot steps through. And right foot flat to the mat, straighten through the left leg, pyramid pose. Letting everything hang heavy here just for a moment. Rebending the left knee. Inhale, reach it forward, rise up, warrior one. And take those hands behind the back, lifting the chest. Reach it back up. Slowly opening warrior two. Full extension here. And then inhale to reverse. Exhale, bring it forward. Forearm to thigh. Push it over. Maybe even fingers down to the mat. And then slowly shifting back through center, both hands to the mat. Right hand plants, left fingers lift into your twist. And take it back down. Last vinyasa here if you would like. Stepping it back to plank. Exhale to release down. Inhale to baby cobra or upward dog. And release. Press it back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. So we'll be here for 3 to 4 breaths. Continuing to lift the hips, lifting your tailbone up to the sky. Feeling your shoulders moving away from your ears. Full length all the way along the back here. That's beautiful, right where you are. Lovely. Really nice. We'll stay here for 1 more breath. And then looking forward between your hands, we're going to hop, walk, or step up to the front of the mat, back to our forward fold. Inhale to come up halfway. And exhale, release it back down. Inhale, arms come out wide, reverse swan dive, all the way up to standing, hands together to touch. And exhale, hands down, Anjali Mudra. Beautiful. From here, we're going to step the left foot all the way back to the back of the mat, coming into a wide-legged pose. So we're facing the long edge of the mat. And we're going to bring the toes in slightly towards each other as your heels are out a little further. Hands together at heart center. Pressing your palms together firmly. Inhale to lift the arms up all the way, looking up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, sweep those arms all the way around behind your back. We're going to take an interlaced grip. Finding that interlaced grip, you have that. You can begin to press through the knuckles, pressing the knuckles towards the heels, maybe beginning to lift your knuckles out away from the low back, opening the heart. 1 more big inhale here. And then with an exhale, we're going to bend forward all the way, coming into our wide-legged forward fold. You can keep those interlaced fingers if you like, if it feels good in the shoulders, maybe even allowing your knuckles to come closer up over the back of your head. Deep shoulder stretch here. And then we'll release that, release the interlaced grip, bringing your hands to the mat in front of you here. Nice. We've got lots of options here. If taking a headstand is part of your practice, you're welcome to move into that now. If you'd like a deeper stretch for the back of the legs, you could reach the hands around behind the heels. If that's available, use the strength in your arms to bring your chest a little closer to your thighs. So we want to think about trying to bring the heart towards the mat rather than the top of the head. Keep that length in the spine. Your hands are down. You could even begin to walk your hands through your legs towards the back of the mat. See how that feels. We're just playing around, finding the stretch that feels good for our bodies on this day. Beautiful. And then slowly bringing the hands back to center beneath your face. With an inhale, we'll lift up halfway, finding that nice parallel spine, reaching back with the tailbone as the crown of your head reaches forward. And then letting it soften all the way back forward again, hands to your hips. With an inhale, rising all the way up to standing. Back to our wide-legged pose. We're going to bring the heels in slightly towards each other now. Nice. With an inhale, arms reach up. And first of all, star pose. We're reaching for opposite corners of the room, making this sort of star shape or jumping jack with the body. Take up as much space as you can. Nice. And then we're going to bend both knees deeply, bringing hands together at heart center. This is our goddess squat. Nice. Finding your squat. You can play with the depth here. Maybe even pulsing up and down a little. Feeling that work through the inner thighs, the glutes even. If you want to challenge yourself a little here, you could lift up with the left heel coming up onto the toes. And then release that. Taking that over to the right, lifting the right heel. Lower down. And then maybe even seeing how it feels to lift both heels. That's a challenging one. And release the heels and inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the arms, reach for the sky. Exhale, release your arms to your side. And then looking forward, we'll step back up to the front of the mat. Beautiful. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale to come up halfway. And exhale to release. Plant your hands down. We're going to step it back to downward facing dog. One more time. Pressing all through the tips of the fingers, the base of the palm. Lifting the hips, heels, maybe a little closer to the mat than when we started. Beautiful. And then with an inhale, press up, lift up on the heels, come up onto your toes, pressing the tops of the feet forward. Exhale, release the heels back down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. 1 more of those. And release it back down. From here, we're going to come down onto the knees. Slowly lowering all the way. And we're going to stand up on the knees. So taking a moment to grab for any extra padding if you like to make it comfortable. We're going to start out with the knees about hip width apart. And we're going to bring the hands to the low back. So imagine your hands are in your back of your jeans pockets here, elbows squeezing towards each other. With an inhale, looking up towards the ceiling, elbows squeeze towards each other, heart lifts, pressing into your hands, press your hips forward. And we're going to move into full camel pose here. You can stay right where you are if this is a nice stretch. You want to take it a little bit deeper. That left hand reaches for your left heel, right hand reaches for the right heel. If you have the heels, continuing to lift with your heart, allowing your head to fall back all the way if that's comfortable. Staying here for 1 more full breath. And then to come out, we'll bring hands to the low back, slowly lifting yourself back up through center. And we'll just sit back onto the heels. Let that go. Beautiful, nice deep stretch for the low back there. From here, we're going to go ahead and swing the legs around to the side. I'm going to come sideways just so you guys can see what we're doing. So we'll bring the feet flat to the mat. You can tuck your fingers behind your knees. And with an inhale, lifting up with the chest, so keeping that back nice and long, lifting up and out of the hips. And we're going to come back just about halfway to that point where we feel those core muscles engage. We're moving into boat pose or Navasana. You could come up onto your tippy toes, maybe beginning to float the feet, maybe bringing the legs parallel, and maybe even beginning to straighten the legs all the way. Challenge your balance here. You could release the back of your knees, palms face up. Nice. Continuing to feel this lift through the front of the chest, through the top of the feet. Let's take one more inhale here. One more exhale. One more inhale. And release. Let it go. Bring your feet to the mat, hands behind the knees, and continue to roll all the way down onto your back. Beautiful. Walk your right heel in close to the body. And we're going to bring the left ankle to come over on top of the right knee. So we're looking for this figure four shape with the legs. You can keep that left foot flexed to protect the knee joint. And then as you're ready, begin to bring your right thigh closer to the body. And then you're going to reach around behind your right thigh, interlacing the fingers, using the strength in your arms to pull that leg closer. You could use your elbow, your left elbow, to press against the inside of the knee there to deepen the stretch, if that feels okay, in the hips and knees. So this is a supine version of our pigeon pose. It's a nice deep hip stretch, but doesn't require quite as much as the floor pigeon. So a good alternative if you're not a fan of the full pigeon. We'll take one more full breath here, maybe squeezing that leg in just a little closer to the body. And then release, let that go. Right foot comes down to the mat, left foot comes to the mat. We'll take that to the other side. So right ankle on the left knee, finding that figure four shape, and then drawing the left thigh closer to the body this time. Cool. Keeping that foot flex to help protect the knee joint. Beautiful. Really good. Let's take one more breath here. And with the exhale, maybe notice if there's anywhere you're holding tension you don't need to be. And then slowly release, uncross the legs. We'll bring both feet back down to the mat. Go ahead and draw both knees into your chest now. You can wrap your forearms over the front of your shins, maybe reaching for opposite wrists, maybe reaching for opposite elbows, making yourself a tight little ball. And feel like you could go ahead and rock side to side. Give yourself a little massage through the low back here. Full. And then coming back to stillness, knees in the center. We're going to take the arms out wide to the side. So arms coming to a T position, your palms face down. And just kind of grounding through your palms, keeping yourself some stability there. Just allowing both knees to fall over towards the right. So this is a deep supine twist in the back. You could always slide a block under the knees to give yourself a little support there if that feels better. Maybe your gaze is over your left fingertips. Introduce a little bit of a stretch for the neck too, if that feels okay. And with your next inhale, we'll slowly roll the knees back through center, and then keep going all the way over to the other side. And pressing into your palms, you can Help use your arm strength to draw the knees all the way back into center. And then wrapping your arms once more over the front of your shins, giving yourself another little squeeze here. If you like, you could tuck your forehead up towards your knees, making yourself into a tiny little ball. And then letting that go, slowly release. We'll make our way into our final Shavasana. So your legs come out long. Your arms can be alongside your body, reaching for anything you need here to make yourself cozy. If you'd like a blanket or a bolster for under the knees, whatever it might be. And then as you arrive in your Shavasana, just having the heels out, maybe a little wider than the hips, allowing your toes to fall out to the side. Just let everything go soft. We'll take one more deep intentional breath here, observing the entire inhale, observing the entire exhale, and then just let it all go, releasing your attention, releasing your effort, and just be. With your next breath, you can begin to draw some awareness back into the body. You'd like to maybe wiggle the fingers and toes a little, or maybe making some circles with wrists and ankles. You could rock your head a little side to side and give yourself a little massage through the back of the skull. And if it's calling to you, perhaps one more big full body stretch, reaching the arms up overhead, pointing the toes. As you're ready, if you'd like, you could roll onto one side and just pause for a moment in a fetal pose, using your bicep as a pillow. And just invite you to take one final moment of gratitude here, gratitude for yourself for creating this time and space in your day. Gratitude for your body for supporting you, making this practice possible. And as you're ready, you can slowly begin to press yourself up, and we'll all meet in a seated position, coming full circle to where we started. As you arrive, once again, perhaps closing the eyes or finding your soft gaze. And just settling, noticing. We'll take a few communal breaths together to close our practice tonight. So let's all exhale to begin. And then a big inhale through the nose. Big soft sigh. do one more. Deepest breath yet. Big inhale. Big exhale, let it go. And open your eyes. We'll bring hands together and bring your thumbs up towards your forehead. And maybe taking a bow here in honor of this practice and all that it brings us. Namaste. Thank you all for sharing your energy, sharing your practice this evening. It's an honor. As I think many of you know, I'm going to be taking a vacation, so I'll be gone for the next 3 weeks. But we do have people covering the classes, so they will be here, and I will be back. I think August 21st is the date that I'm back. So, and the spoiler alert is I'm checking out places for potential yoga retreat next year in Honduras. So keep that in mind. So yeah, hope you all have a lovely rest of your summer. Look forward to seeing you once I'm back. If you're not on my email list and you'd like to stay in touch, I do have a sign up sheet for that. I just send out a monthly newsletter and whenever there's updates to my schedule and stuff. So please let me know if you'd like to come on that. And otherwise, have a beautiful weekend. And thank you all. So thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Thank you. And thanks to friends on Zoom. Great to see you guys. Great to see Laura. And I'm so glad we got it working again now.
Me too. And Sarah communicated with me.
Oh, I can't hear you.
No, I'm off. I'm not muted.
Oh, I know. No, it's on my end. There, go ahead.
There it is. Okay. Sarah Jones emailed me because I had emailed as I was having trouble on Wednesday. I just shot a quick email. Anyway, so maybe that helped. Anyway, I'm here. I'm sorry. I thought it was at 6.
No, that's great. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you'll make it.
Yes.
And I'll miss you for the next few weeks, but
I
keep
heard
up
that.
with your practice.
Okay.
See you when I'm back. So
Have a wonderful time.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye,
Take
Meredith.
care. Bye.